Well, good afternoon, everyone, and happy Monday. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four, the live stream where I talk about some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. Wherever you're watching today, whether it is on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Monday afternoon here with me. Now, we have quite a bit to jump into today, so I think it is about that time we started off. But of course, wherever you're watching, thank you so much for watching. Now, starting things off in Madison, where a student was found in possession of a handgun at Bob Jones High School this morning. Now, according to school superintendent Ed Nichols, the discovery was made after a student reported a safety concern. Nichols says the resource officers sprang into action immediately, securing the handgun without an incident. Now, fortunately, no one was harmed in this situation. Officials say a 16-year-old was arrested and taken to Neves Davis Juvenile Detention Facility. School officials and Madison police continue to investigate the situation. And 48's Noah Cowell will have more on this incident coming up in our evening newscast. And now in Hazel Green, where a shooting left one woman dead this morning. Now, this according to HIMSY spokesperson Don Webster. Officials say the incident happened on Butch Circle around 8 this morning. The Madison County Sheriff's Office says a preliminary investigation indicates the incident is related to domestic violence. Webster said the victim, who has not yet been identified, was found dead on the scene, and the shooting and the circumstances leading up to it remain under investigation. Stay tuned to our evening newscast to 48's Callie Neese. For more details, we'll be sure to update you as soon as we learn more. And now it is certainly cooling off out there, making it feel a lot like the holiday season, that is for sure. Let's now turn it over to 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis to see if it'll stay frightful out there this week. Brad? One second, y'all. We are finding Brad real quick. Where are you, Brad? There he is. All right, my apologies. And how's it looking, Brad?
A lot of talk about snow. It is snowing to our north, but around here the air is really dry. So once this cloud cover moves in, we're just expecting a few flurries out there. The big story you may be missing if you're focused on any chance of snow is how cold it's going to get. Nothing on radar now. Of course, we got a clear sky, but that's all going to start changing as we get into the late evening hours. Quick look here at the Parkway in Huntsville. It's 47 degrees. And right now, the big story tomorrow morning will be the wind chill. This is what it's going to feel like. Anywhere from 14 to about 15, 16 degrees in the morning. It's not going to be terribly windy, but it's just going to be cold out there. And it'll still feel like the upper 20s to near 30 degrees as we get past the lunch hour tomorrow. Here's where they are seeing the snow from Paducah to Nashville, just on the north side of Nashville. And again, this is all tracking southeast, so this trajectory, we'll call it, keeps most of this well off to our north and east, but there's always seems to be those exceptions, right? Here's a look at 6 o'clock this evening. We're going to see temperatures in the upper 30s, and the temperatures will hold steady to around 40. It may actually warm up a bit as this boundary moves in, as the clouds increase after 8 o'clock. Notice just very little bitty blips showing up in the model guidance, and that's usually indicative of just a flurry or two. I know a lot of people think when they hear snow flurries, they're thinking light snow. That's not the case here. We're talking very small flurries, and everything kind of continues moving away. Dry air takes over, and a really cold start to the morning tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier. Low temperatures in the mid-20s, but feeling more like the teens, and it doesn't get a lot better tomorrow. Hey, it's sunny, but boy, look at those temperatures. This isn't the wind chill. These are the actual temperatures, barely getting above 40 degrees for many of us tomorrow. So this is really cold even for this time of year. As far as the 10-day forecast goes, we got rain chances coming in Wednesday, maybe a few Thursday, and then over the weekend, a few passing showers. But notice, we don't have any really warm air to talk about at all. Coming up at 4, I'll have the latest hour-by-hour look at tonight's cold and the chance for flurries.
Well, thank you, Brad. Now moving over to Coleman, where authorities are investigating a deadly hit and run that happened last night. Authorities say the incident occurred last night along Highway 157 and Alabama 69. Coleman County Coroner Jeremy Kilpatrick identified the victim of the crash as 59-year-old Mark Allen Johns. Investigators are still looking for tips so they can identify the vehicle and the driver involved in the crash. If you have any leads, call police at 256-734-1434. And now, some exciting news for comedy fans here in the Rocket City. Earlier today, it was announced that comedian and actor Kevin Hart will make a stop here in Huntsville in April of next year. The Orion Amphitheater announced today that Hart will perform there on Friday, April 11th, 2025, as part of the Acting My Age tour. Tickets go on sale this Friday, December 6th at 10 a.m. Central. For more information on tickets, visit our website at WAFF.com. And certainly an exciting day for us here at 48. Today is the first day of the 32nd annual Canathon. This event is about helping make sure everyone across North Alabama has good food to eat this holiday season. All the food donated to the Bank of North Alabama. You can donate items for Canathon this holiday season at Walmarts here in Huntsville, Madison, Decatur, Florence, and throughout the Shoals. And it's not just food you can donate. The Food Bank of North Alabama is also in need of toilet paper, diapers, wipes, and baby formula. Donations will be accepted up until December 13th. For more information about Canathon and items accepted, you can visit our website right now at WAFF.com. And now a story, in case you missed it, from 48's Noah Cowell. Handle with Care, a trauma support program for children nationwide, is looking to expand here in North Alabama to more schools. Noah Cowell with the story.
Handle with Care, a program where law enforcement and school employees work together to give children who have experienced trauma the help they need. The National Children's Advocacy Center started Handle with Care in Alabama in 2022, something its coordinator says was needed in the area.
Children in our community are exposed to violence and potentially traumatic events, and then they're going to school, and these experiences are also being shown in the classroom. And so teachers are having to kind of deal with how kids are responding to trauma in the community and not having any knowledge of what's going on.
Handle with Care Alabama is now partnered with 5 different school districts and their corresponding law enforcement units, including Huntsville City and Madison County schools. The process starts when a first responder sees a kid present at the scene of a potentially traumatic event. They send a notice to the child's school with the 3 words, Handle with Care. Teachers then look for trauma symptoms and send the child to a counselor or mental health therapist if the child needs additional support. McAdams says the program has been a success so far, with 81 notices reaching over 30 schools this academic year alone.
Having that little notice that just says Handle with Care has really helped them to take a situation which could have become a disciplinary issue or a major disruption in the classroom, and they're able to provide services and resources for that child before it turns into an event in the classroom.
Before Handle with Care was partnered with Huntsville City and Madison County schools, McAdams looked to start smaller, and Madison City fit the bill.
I did some research on the background of the program and found it was successful everywhere it's been tried, and it was just common sense that we applied it here. It's a great program to let the schools know that if they do notice some type of behavior that's not normal for that particular child, that they know that this was a result of a traumatic situation that the child witnessed or is actually involved in.
Well, thank you, Noah. Now, after the recent passings of 2 young football players here in the Yellowhammer State, some parents might be feeling a little hesitant about sending their child to the gridiron. 48's Daquan Lee recently spoke with parents here in the Tennessee Valley to get their thoughts about the current safety of the sport. Take a listen.
In Alabama, the recent deaths of 20-year-old Medrick Burnett and 16-year-old Caden Taylor are reigniting a conversation about if parents will be allowing their children to play football. In Huntsville, I talked to parents about whether these recent tragedies would deter them from having their kids in the sport.
As a parent, you want to be as safe as possible, so
Burnett was left hospitalized for more than a month after being injured in the Magic City Classic before succumbing. Tellier died the day after his first high school football game of the season in Central Alabama. Both died from apparent head injuries. Parents like Brian McNichol says he would try to steer his kid away from football, but it wouldn't stop them from chasing their aspirations.
I would give them the opportunity to pursue whatever they're passionate about. If their football is their passion, absolutely, I'd be behind it 100%. And statistically, the thousands of kids who play football, I think it's still a relatively safe sport. But I wouldn't guide them toward football.
Parents like Ashley Spradlin say it's her responsibility to teach her children not to be afraid of things that may happen in life. She has 2 daughters, one of whom is a color guard. Even though they aren't playing football, they still have a chance of being injured, and that's something she's willing to live with.
Life is all about circumstances, and you have to try things. If we're so afraid of our children getting hurt that we're not willing to put them out in the world to try new things, how do they know if they're meant to be an NFL player later on? You know, fear does nothing but stop the progression, in my opinion.
I also asked parents if they believe these tragedies would impact the sport's popularity. Nearly all of them told me football is too important to who we are in the South. Reporting in Huntsville, DeQuan Lee, 48 on your side.
Well, thank you to Quan. And another story, in case you missed it, hundreds of pharmacies have closed across Alabama over the last 6 years, according to public records from the Alabama Pharmacy Association. The prices customers pay for drugs and the payments pharmacies receive are largely determined by companies known as the Pharmacy Benefit Managers, or PBMs, which negotiate rebates from drug manufacturers to insurers. PBMs argue that they help keep drug prices down by negotiating with drug makers, but some, including Senator Tommy Tuberville, argue that PBMs are causing reimbursement discrepancies. 48's Margot Gray reports on one independent pharmacy in Hartselle. Take a look.
I love my patients. I love healthcare. I want to take care of my patients.
Mike Pruitt's work as a pharmacist has gotten more trying over his 30-year career. Pruitt's independent pharmacy is reimbursed at a lower rate than chain pharmacies. He posted on social media about the $85 reimbursement difference on a diabetes drug.
That's an unfair reimbursement for us and an unfair business model in healthcare if we can't make the same money as the national chains.
The prices customers pay for drugs and the payments pharmacies receive are largely determined by companies known as Pharmacy Benefit Managers, or PBMs, which negotiate rebates for drug manufacturers to insurers. PBMs argue that they help keep drug prices down by negotiating with drug makers.
PBMs have to be held accountable.
Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville is very aware of the situation.
Pharmacies all over the country are having to pay rebates, are having to pay higher prices, and they're losing money because these PBMs, the middleman, so to speak, is making most of the money. That's got to be corrected.
No one is more keenly aware than Pruitt. He saw the city's largest pharmacy close in 2008. Another independent pharmacy closed in 2013.
We are the last independent pharmacy in Hartselle. We provide services that no other pharmacy provides. We provide compounding services. We provide delivery services. We provide packaging services for special patients that have trouble with compliance on their medications. If we do not remain in business, healthcare will suffer in this area.
He says the loss of those services can leave a big void, especially for lower-income households.
I think patients need that personal touch with a pharmacy. I think they need a relationship with their pharmacist.
So far in 2024, 20 pharmacies statewide have closed. Pruitt wants leaders to take action to keep even more pharmacies from closing in the coming year. Reporting in Hartselle, Margot Gray, WAFF 48 News, on your side.
Well, thank you, Margot. And now in state news, down in Tuscaloosa, 2 families received brand new homes before the holidays, and both of those homes have been dedicated to Nick and Terry Sabin. Kelvin Reynolds with WBRC has more.
Habitat for Humanity Tuscaloosa dedicated 2 new homes before the holidays. Both homes were also dedicated in honor of Nick and Terry Sabin. The Sabins have used their Nick's Kids Foundation to build 21 homes for Habitat for Humanity since 2011. Habitat dedicated the last 2 homes finished before Thanksgiving in honor of the Sabins. The home dedicated to Terry Sabin was a women's build and went to LaPortia Mitchell's family. And the house dedicated to Nick Saban, which was a legacy build, was given to Samantha Hamner's family. Hamner and Saban have known each other for years.
Is Samantha here made my salad for 17 years with love. So we are so happy to be honored here today for what Miss Terry has really done for the community and what we've been able to do in terms of hopefully helping people have a better quality of life. Helping them.
A hard time in my life in September. My mom passed away, and she was so excited. She was more excited than I was about the house. She wanted to plant flowers and everything, but I know she's not here in physical presence, but I know she's here with us today, and she's smiling.
Both families will move into their new homes before Christmas. Your Tuscaloosa reporter, Kelvin Reynolds, WBRC, 6 News on your side.
Incredible story there. Thank you so much, Kelvin. Now let's talk a little about some high school football playoffs over the weekend. The Mars Hill Panthers, the only remaining North Alabama team, will head to the AHSAA State Championship this Thursday. The Panthers will take on Houston Academy Thursday at 11 at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. 48's Cam Durr on how those Mars Hill Panthers made it to state.
9 semifinal appearances in the last 10 seasons. That's what the Mars Hill Panthers were tasked with heading into the Class 3A semifinal against Piedmont here tonight, and they handled it in dominating fashion. The Piedmont Bulldogs make the trek to Panthers country with a trip to the Class 3A state title game up for grabs. 2 powerhouse programs that know what it takes to get there. And it's the road team that strikes first. Coleman Wilson connects with Raleigh Pinto on the short pass to the outside. Bulldogs up 7-0 early. But the Panthers, they just needed to warm up. Mars Hill responds the following drive. They'll take the lead after a pair of Caden Chandler touchdowns, 14-7 Panthers in the second. The Bulldogs threaten later on 4th down, will turn it over on downs to Mars Hill, who caps off the drive with yet another Chandler touchdown. Mars Hill went into the locker room at the half, leading 21-7, and just more dominance from Mars Hill in the second half. Hudson Higgins for the score. Panthers up 42-7 at this point, and they will head on to their first state title game since 2020.
Well, it's just exciting. I mean, a team like Piedmont, they've been the king of 3A, and we're just glad to get in and play with them. It's unbelievable. I mean, we got behind 7-0 and then scored 49 straight points, and our defense was unbelievable. Our offensive line played hard all night. It's just a great Mars Hill football tonight.
And tonight, senior running back Caden Chandler had a big part in providing the Panthers a spark. He told me post-game that this was something that these seniors had been waiting for since his freshman year.
4th round and when I was a freshman, and we didn't make it. So I think everybody out here was motivated and ready to do our stuff, play hard, and come out with a win.
Well, while some of our area teams will be celebrating tonight, others will be going home early, as West Morgan and Hackleburg both fall in the semifinals. But Mars Hill will see them in Birmingham next week in the Class 3A state championship game. Reporting in the Shoals, Cam Durr, 48 Sports, on your side.
Well, I wish them the best of luck as they battle it out for the blue map. Thank you, Cam. Well, Black Friday is over and now it's Cyber Monday. Today, some of the country's largest online retailers are offering huge discounts, hoping to convince consumers to buy online. NBC's Brian Chung reports from one of Amazon's fulfillment centers in New Jersey. Take a listen.
Well, happy Cyber Monday from the Amazon Fulfillment Center here in Robbinsville, New Jersey. There are conveyor belts and robots zigzagging all the way across this facility, all to get the packages to your door and on time as we get through what could be a record-breaking Cyber Monday. For what it's worth, it was already a record-breaking Black Friday. Amazon saying tens of millions of customers put a record amount of item orders in, helping the company net a record amount of sales just on Friday. That bodes well for Cyber Monday as well, when Adobe Analytics predicts that there will be $13.2 billion in spend online just on this Monday. And in fact, during the peak hours between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., they're projecting $15.7 million to be spent every single minute which means that many people could be finding and scoring some big-time deals on this Cyber Monday. Back to you.
Well, thank you so much. Well, of course, it is that time of the year again, the season of giving. And one bell ringer for the Salvation Army here in Huntsville is making all the difference in the world. 48's Callie Neese has her incredible story. Take a look.
It's almost that time of year again, where the Salvation Army stands outside in the cold, ringing the bell to spread a little Christmas cheer to those who cannot afford it. For one bell ringer, the difference she made changed her life.
I didn't have no idea.
This is Dorothy Austin. She started her journey with the Salvation Army in a shelter just a few years ago.
Well, I was homeless, and then I went to the shelter, and then I got the opportunity to ring the bell.
Austin said she wanted to bring Christmas to those who can't afford it, all while living on the streets herself. Little did she know this would lead to a whole new beginning.
Then after I rang the bell, Major Watts asked me if I wanted to come over to the store and work as a cashier.
Now Austin is working at the Salvation Army thrift store and is off the street.
Yeah, it helped me get back on my feet where I could get my own apartment and be able to start back on my feet.
But Austin says it's not about her, it's about the community she helps and her being a bigger part of it.
It's like heartwarming to know that I was helping out.
Reporting in Huntsville, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
Incredible story there. Thank you so much, Callie, and Merry Christmas to you all. The Salvation Army, it's in full swing, so if you feel led to donate, please do so. But awesome story there. And that's what I would call a story that you're just not going to want to miss. And speaking of those stories you're just not going to want to miss, let's head into the stories that you're just not going to want to miss in our evening newscast. Huntsville Transit offering free rides today in honor of civil rights icon Rosa Parks. Get more details on that story coming up. Another story you're just not going to want to miss, Limestone County Animal Shelter looking to waive adoption fees for animals. And finally, some major development coming to the city of Guntersville. 48 Savannah Sapp will have all those details coming up for you in our evening newscast. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up. And now it is that time. Some of you have already gotten a sneak peek. But it is time for Facebook fun. That is right, our 48 Facebook question of the day. What is your favorite thing about the holiday season? And honestly, what is there not to like about the holiday season? I love it all. I love the cooler weather outside. I love the season of giving. The incredible food that my mother definitely knows how to make around this time of the year. But what I want to know is what you all had to say. What is your favorite thing about the holiday season? Richard Sibley said, the atmosphere of joy and happiness. That's another thing. Everyone seems so happy around this time of the year. An awesome comment there. Richard, thank you so much for commenting. And if you're watching right now at home, what's your favorite thing about the holiday season? That is what I want to know. But Richard, thank you so much for commenting. Jeffrey said he loves the lights. That is another really awesome thing about the holidays. You can go and look at all the lights around the Tennessee Valley here in North Alabama. This is actually my first Christmas season here in Huntsville, so I am excited to see how you guys do it for Christmas season. And I've heard there is a lot to see. A lot of people decorate for Christmas, so I'm excited to see them all. Jeffrey, thank you so much for commenting. And then Sandy said family coming home, and that is another amazing part about Christmas. You get to spend time with the family. Maybe you don't see your family super often, so it is a great time of the year for sure. Sandy, I hope you have an awesome time with your family this holiday season, and thank you so much for commenting. And everyone who commented, thank you so much for commenting and sharing what you love about the holiday season. Well, that is just about all the time I have in today's Before the Four, but I want to thank you all for sticking around with me and spending a bit of your Monday afternoon here on Before the Four. If you haven't done so already, make sure you download the 48 digital app, the 48 First Alert weather app, and of course, the 48 Sport Zone app. Turn on those push notifications and you will never miss a breaking news story. With that said, that is all the time I have, but as always, I have to thank you for watching. You all have a great night.